So this is an excellent question. What is the difference between propaganda and a psyop? And have a little look at this table below for some distinct differences. But psyops and propaganda, they are connected because you can use propaganda to create a psyop. But propaganda tends to be a much broader intention. It tends to be done in civilian peacetime, and it tends to be done across a broader outreach rather than specifically trying to target a small group or a smaller faction of individuals. Whereas a psyop tends to be much more narrow in its approach. It tends to be something that's covert action, whereas propaganda tends to be overt action. So propaganda typically would be things that you would see as like keep calm, carry on, as like the Uncle Sam posters that we saw in the Second World War. These are things that were pushed out to the front. They would be things that you would see in newspapers or on posters or things. They were things that were happily pushed towards the forefront. However, when you're looking at psyops, it tends to be a much more covert action. So you're seeing kind of rhetoric slowly being pushed. You'll see this at the moment in media where the word oligarchy is being thrown around quite a lot. I never noticed that, the powers that be only have an issue with, the very rich people coming in when it's not the rich people that they've appointed. Ever noticed that? That they really don't like Elon Musk, but it doesn't matter about any of the other oligarchies that they've allowed into politics. So notice that, like at this current moment in time with the psyop that's slowly being pushed, awareness of what an oligarchy is and how that's detrimental to our political systems, the rhetoric is being pushed in a way that is subversive, is under the mark, is under the carpet. So have a little look at the table below, pause it so you can have a read of it if you need to. But yeah, propaganda and psyops are different. Propaganda can be used as part of creating a psyop, but a psyop it tends to be a much more covert experience. And the reasons why the psyop was happening tends to be a much more covert action. I hope that helps. I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.